This shawl pattern by Jennifer Matlock is all about the shifting of season. It's called Frühling, and the colors were chosen to mimic the fading leaves that you see in fall. I love to look up at the blue sky in autumn and watch the green and yellow leaves swaying in the wind. The juxtaposition of the small, fragile leaves against the vast, permanent sky, it's such a humbling and inspiring experience. This is a triangular shawl design, and it alternates between these beautiful lattice sections and these more solid sections, and it has this gorgeous lace running down the spine and all along the border. To make this design, we used our soft limited edition colors in our Bamboo Alpaca Fingering yarn, and we used just 5 skeins to create this beautiful color gradient you see in the shawl. This yarn is a blend of bamboo and alpaca, so it's buttery and soft, and it makes for beautiful flowing shawls like this. It's also great for transitional weather, and it blocks beautifully, which is excellent for this type of shawl pattern. A natural fiber yarn like in the Bamboo Alpaca is key if you do want to block a project, and you definitely want to firmly block this shawl to really open up all those beautiful stitches. That's why using a natural fiber yarn is so important, because they block so well. And if you're unfamiliar with blocking, just check the links in the description to our video tutorials on that. So today I'm going to be showing you how to work the German twisted cast on, part of this lacy section here, as well as how to work the fun bind off on this shawl. To follow along, download the pattern at expressionfiberarts.com. We're also going to put the direct links to it and the yarn in the description box for you. So while you're on the site, go ahead and sign up for email updates for weekly free patterns and secret coupon codes. So let's go ahead and start with the German twisted cast on. Now the German twisted cast on is really similar to a long tail cast on. So go ahead and pull up a nice little tail and go ahead and grab that same setup as a long tail cast on. Now you can work a slip knot, or I just like to grab the yarn like so. So that counts as your first stitch. So what you're going to do is take your needle and go under both strands on your thumb, down through both strands, around the one on your pointer finger, and back through this loop. So I'll show you again. Under both strands here on your thumb, and down between them, over the one on your pointer finger, and then back through the loop here on your thumb. And if you'll watch what I'm doing at the end with my thumb, it makes it a little easier. So under both, down through the middle. I like to twist my thumb down at this point, go over the one on the pointer finger, and then you have a nice open window here to slide back through the one on your thumb. So you'll continue doing that for the number of times mentioned in the pattern, and you're going to get into the swing of it. It becomes nice and easy. And there we go. Now we're going to work the lace, and do not let this lace intimidate you. Even an adventurous beginner can do this. I just recommend that you use a lifeline. So if you're unfamiliar with that, check out our video tutorial on that, and all of your fears of dropping a stitch will be dissolved. Okay, for row 1, we're going to start by slipping one knitwise, so that means like this, and you want to keep that loose. Then you're going to knit one and slip your stitch marker. So you're already going to have stitch markers, but I'm just going to pop one on. Then you're going to work yarn over, knit 2 together, and you're going to repeat that because your shawl at this point is going to be a lot bigger than this small swatch. Yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together, until you are 1 stitch before your next marker. So when you do that, you're going to yarn over, knit front and back, so knit into the front of this next stitch and into the back of it. So do both of those before you slide it off your left needle, and then you can slip your stitch marker. So let me pop one on. Now we're into that beautiful little center spine lace section. So purl 1, knit 3, 2, 3, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, slip, slip, knit. So slip, slip, knit, knit 3, purl 1, knit 2, 3, purl 1. Then you're going to slip your next stitch marker. Whoop. Then you're going to purl front, knit back. So this is fun. Bring your yarn to the front and purl into the next stitch, but leave that stitch on your left needle. Swing your yarn around to the back and knit into the back of that stitch. and then you can slide it off. Then yarn over and slip, slip, knit. So slip, slip, knit, yarn over, and you're going to repeat that across to your stitch marker. So slip, slip, knit, yarn over, slip, 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 knit, yarn over, all the way across. And when you get to your marker, you're going to slip it and then knit the final 2 stitches. Now for row 2, and this is going to be the same for all even rows. You're going to start with a slip 1, knitwise of course, and then knit the next stitch. Slip your stitch marker, then you're going to purl to 1 stitch before your next marker. So just work your little purl stitches, and when you have 1 stitch before your next stitch marker, you're going to knit that one. Slip your stitch marker, knit 1, purl 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then knit 1, slip your stitch marker, knit 1 again, purl all the way across to your next marker, purl, 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 and you're going to have a lot more stitches there. Then you're going to slip your stitch marker and knit 2. For row 3, you're going to start with a slip 1 and then knit 1, slip your stitch marker, and then you're going to repeat across to 1 stitch before your marker, yarn over, knit 2 together, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together, and this is forming that beautiful lattice lace. And you'll have a lot more, but when you get to 1 stitch before your marker, you're going to work a yarn over, knit front and back, knit front, swing it around, knit into the back of that same stitch. So that's an increase. Slide that off, and then you can slip your stitch marker, purl 1, knit 2, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 3, 1, 2, 3, and then yarn over, slip, slip, knit, slip, slip, knit, knit 2, and purl 1. Now slip your stitch marker, and you're going to work your purl front, knit back stitch again. So purl into the front of the next stitch, leave it on your left needle, swing your yarn to the back, and also knit into the back of that same stitch. And then you can slide it off your needle and then yarn over. Then repeat across to your marker, slip, slip, knit, yarn over, slip, slip, knit, yarn over, all the way across to your marker, slip your marker and knit 2. For row 5, I'm going to start with a slip 1 and then a knit 1. Slip your stitch marker, then you're going to work a yarn over, knit 2 together, and repeat that across until you are 1 stitch before your next marker. So yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together. So I'm down to the last stitch before my marker. So yarn over, knit front and back, knit front, and into the back of that next stitch, and then slip your stitch marker. Now purl 1, knit 2, yarn over, slip, slip, knit, slip, slip, and knit, yarn over. Now we're going to do an S2 KP2. So slip 2 stitches purlwise. So with your needles pointing at each other, slip 1, slip 2, knit the next stitch, and then pass both of those slip stitches over the knit stitch, up and off, like so. Then yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2, then purl 1, and you can go ahead and slip your next stitch marker. And then we're going to do our purl front, knit back, so purl into the front of that next stitch, swing the yarn to the back, and knit into the back of that same stitch. And then you can slide it off and work a yarn over. Now repeat across to your next marker, slip, slip, knit, yarn over. So slip, slip, knit, yarn over, slip, slip, knit, yarn over, and slip, slip, knit, yarn over, and continue repeating till you reach your marker. Then you can slip it and knit 2. For row 7, we're going to start with a slip 1 and a knit 1. Go ahead and slip your stitch marker. Now repeat across to 1 stitch before your next marker, yarn over, knit 2 together. Yarn over, knit 2 together. And you can see each row, we've got more and more of these because we are increasing that beautiful lattice section. Yarn over, knit 2 together. And when you are 1 stitch before your marker, you're going to work a yarn over, knit front and back. So knit into the front and into the back of that next stitch, which is an increase, of course. Go ahead and slip your stitch marker. Then you're going to purl 1, so we're into that beautiful center spine section. Knit 2, knit 4, 2, 3, and 4. Then yarn over, and we're going to do that really fun S2KP2 again. So slip 2 stitches purlwise, boop, boop, knit the next stitch, and then pass those 2 slipped stitches up and off of your needle. So that's a fun little decrease. Then yarn over, knit 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then purl 1, and slip your stitch marker, and we're into the lattice section over on this side. And we're going to work our purl into the front stitch and knit into the back. So purl front, knit back stitch, yarn over, and then repeat across to your marker, slip, slip, knit, yarn over. So slip, slip, knit, yarn over, slip, slip, knit, yarn over, slip, slip, knit, yarn over, and I've got one more, slip, slip, knit, and yarn over. And make sure you do that final yarn over or your row will be off. Go ahead and slip your stitch marker and then finish with a knit 2. Now for row 8, so this even row is a little different than the other even rows you've been working. Start with a slip 1 and a knit 1, and then slip your stitch marker, and you're going to purl across till you are just 1 stitch before your next stitch marker, and you'll have a lot more stitches than this, since you're going to be in the middle of your shawl working all those beautiful lattice lace stitches. So when you get down to 1 stitch before your marker, you're just going to knit that next stitch, slip your stitch marker, knit the next stitch, now purl 11. Nice and easy. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then knit that stitch right before your next stitch marker, slip your stitch marker and knit 1. Now purl all the way across to your final stitch marker. So this is the lattice lace section on the other side of the spine. This is the section you're going to see growing as you continue to work your rows. When you do reach your stitch marker, just slip that and then knit the final 2 stitches. And now for the bind off. You can actually use any stretchy bind off that you prefer. I'm going to show you the one recommended in the pattern. So to work this bind off, you're going to start with a knit one. Then you're going to knit the next stitch. Insert your left needle into the front of both of those loops and just knit through the back loop. And there you go. So to continue across, knit the next stitch. Insert your left needle into the front of both stitches and just knit them like so. Knit the next stitch, insert your left needle into the front of both of those stitches and knit them, and continue all the way across. And you just continue all the way across, and when you get to the end, go ahead and work that final stitch, and you are good to go. I love this. It's sturdy with a nice stretch. So I wanted to show you, here's what I just worked for you, and you can see this is unblocked. And then I worked this version earlier, which I blocked for you, and you can see how beautifully those stitches open up. So I just wanted to show you where this is at on the actual shawl. I used thicker yarn for this sample version, but you can see these center stitches here, this beautiful spine, and then our growing lattice lace sections are here, and that's all of these beautiful sections. And just a quick note, the cast on and the bind off are not worked here. I was just showing you all in one tidy little piece just so you could see all the stitches. So there you go. The rest of the sections of this shawl are as easy as the sections that I've showed you today. So have a go and let us know what you think of this one. And whatever you do, be good to yourself today and speak kindly to yourself, because you deserve it just as much as anyone else. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and be sure to hop back next week because we're going to be starting a fun 3-part pattern series, which I am so excited to show you. All right, have a wonderful week, and I will see you very soon. Mwah! Bye-bye.